Hi everyone, so this is a kind of a craft haul video, but it's a bit of a craft haul with a difference because I'm actually going to do a tutorial as part of it as well. So I wanted to start off by just showing you some of the stuff that I got before I actually break into it and use it all. So I'm going to start with the dies and then we're going to come to the lovely paper pad. I'm so excited. So this time round I didn't actually choose these, so these were sent to me by Kokorosastudio. This is their choice, but I am loving their choice, and I'm not just saying that. You know me, I am honest, and I actually love every single thing they've sent me. So yeah, so we'll start with this one here. I haven't actually used any of these yet because I literally received these in the post yesterday. So I am excited to use them. So this is the first one, and this is a Happy New Year die. That way up. Happy New Year. There we go. I really like this actually. I like the way that you've got the little like starry thing. So actually I think this is going to cut. This is a two-fold die, which is actually quite useful because you're going to be able to cut it out of a piece of card and have these lovely stars, but you're also then going to be left with the stars and the Happy New Year sentiment. So you've got a two-fold thing going on there, so I'm quite excited to use that. I'm thinking maybe a shake card, maybe some vellum with lights behind. A few things coming up in my brain about that one, so I'm excited to use that. It's a decent size as well. Let me do sizes while we go through them. So this measures from side to side, is about 4 inches by about 3. So 3 inches tall, 4 inches wide. Decent size. I like the fact that this is nice. It's big enough to be on the front of a card, so I'm digging that. So that's the first one. Then there's this one, and I was like, oh my days, I'm gonna have fun with this one, because this one actually, you see, I often see people doing videos, you know, and they got like these dies and they cut out the layers and blah blah blah, and I've never had a die like that ever. So this, it looks really complicated, but it's not. So if I was to pop all these bits out, I'm not going to do that now, but you've got like an outer Christmas tree, and then at the top you've got like fold lines. So you've got a fold line here and a fold line there, and then you've got the same on this side, one there and one there, and then you've got 2 dies that cut out your mats and layers. So for something like this where it's a bit tricky, you haven't got to worry about cutting it out. And they've even put a star in the middle of it again that's got like a 2, so you could have like a mat and layered star. I am thinking this is amazing. I just think this is amazing. So the whole thing, obviously with it outspread, which is not how it will be when it's made up, but with it outspread, it's like 8 inches by 5. But actually the width of the card is going to end up being about 2 3/4, I think. Maybe 2 3/4. So basically what's going to happen with this, you've got that, then it's going to fold in like that, and then the top bit folds out again. So it's a bit like the double display card that I did. It's a bit like that. But yeah, so you'll see I'm going to be doing something with this, but I'm really excited to use this. And I'm really, 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 really excited about the fact that we've got dies that cut layers. It's going to make it so easy. Like, card making has never been this easy. Anyway, I'll stop going on. So that's that one. Very excited to use that one. Then this is a die that I would never have bought, you know, never have chosen by myself. However, I can see uses for this. So we've got a cappuccino, the word cappuccino, and then obviously like a cup with a saucer and a spoon. But I'm thinking, you know what, it's Christmas, isn't it? So you could have like a hot chocolatey type thing. And I have got some little dies that cut out like little candy canes, little gingerbread men. So I'm thinking maybe having a couple of little gingerbread men on the side here, maybe have some candy canes sticking out the top. I'm liking this die, so I'm actually planning to use this on one of the dies today. On one of the cards today. So this cuts out, the saucer is 3 1/4 inches by 2 5/8, and then the cup itself is about 2 1/2 wide by 2 inches. The little spoon, super cute spoon, is 1 1/2 by about 3/4 of an inch. And then the cappuccino is about 3 1/2, just under 3 1/2 by 1 1/2. So yeah, nice size. I like it. I do like it. And I've actually got a cupcake, which is similar size to this, a cupcake die. So it might look a bit big next to the teacup. I don't know, I'm not sure. I have got other cupcake dies. But yeah, I like this. So I'm going to have a go with this. Then we also had this die, and yeah, I like background dies. I have seen this one being used actually as a shaker, and I think I quite like it as a shaker. It's also a bit stained glassy for my liking, as in I like it. I like the fact it's stained glassy. I've made a couple of similar kind of cards where you colour in and stuff, make it stained glass. So yeah, this is cool for that. So it's 5.5 wide by 4 inches, so 5.5 tall by 4 inches wide. But I like that. I like the fact it's quite narrow as well. If you stacked up a few, that could be interesting. So yeah, I like this because again, this could be for any single time you want. You could do Christmas, birthday, Easter, anything. You literally could use this for anything. So I'm liking that. Right, that's all the dies. Now I need to take you through this pack of paper. I've literally looked at this once because when it came yesterday, I was so excited. I had to have a look. And I was wondering whether it might be sort of sheeny paper, because sometimes you get these paper pads and they've got like a sheen to them, but it's not. It's matte. I'm so happy. I am so happy. It's 6x6 and it's 160 GSM, which is actually a really decent weight. I'm really impressed. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I'm so going to have to stand up. Right, can we just please appreciate the designs? Literally, I've looked through this pad and there's usually one design that you're not that keen on. There's not a single design in the whole of this pad that I'm not keen on. Those poinsettias are beautiful. What's more is I had a flower die that I was sent, is it the last time or the time before? It was when I was away on holiday, so it would have been August time. But the shape of it is very similar to these. So I'm thinking I'm going to marry the two up together. So you get two, sorry, let me just quickly do my job here. So in the pack, you get 12 different designs and 2 sheets of each design. Okay, so you got the poinsettia. I love that poinsettia so much. You got the candy canes, which would work really well with that cappuccino mug die if I'm going to put candy canes in it. So I really like that. You've got, oh, I just love it so much. This one with the green and the poinsettia and the holly and the berries and the mistletoe. I love it. I love the colours. It's just so nice. Then we've got this one, which is like a green snow. But again, this would be wonderful for cutting out that green Christmas tree because it's kind of quite a nice neutrally kind of pattern. Oh, love it. Love this. Oh, my days. What I really love about this is the fact that all of the little cookie things look sort of 3D-ish. I love that detail. Just is lovely. And again, this would be really good with that cappuccino mug because it's got like little ice cookies. So that would go really well. So I love that. Really nice tartan. Like that a lot. All of these go so well together. Then we've got a wood with Santa and a snowman. Love that too. Little Santa. Look how cute he is with his little stockings on. So cute. Then we've got the red and white snowflakes. This would work really well, especially if you like glittered up some of the snowflakes or put something in the middle, or I don't know, just as a background. I love that too. Oh my goodness me. Baubles, love these. Oh, my days, just in love here. Right, yeah, so bauble paper. I love that. And again, I have got bauble dies, as you know, been sent to me before, and I've got some in my stash. So again, that would be great teamed up with that. Loving this, like a wood effect with snowflakes. I mean, wow. I love craft and white anyway, but this just is beautiful. So I really like that. Christmas tree with little baubles. Again, I just love it. And last but not least is this one. I just love the size of the print that they've used, the colours that they've used, the quality. It actually feels really good quality. I'm just really impressed with this paper pack. This is the first paper pack I've ever had from Kokorosastudio, and based off this, I would definitely buy some more. Like I literally would go and buy some more. I don't know what else to say. Oh my days. So I'm now going to do a tutorial and we're going to make a card. I'm definitely using these papers 100%, and I'm hoping to use 1 or maybe 2 of these dies. So I'm going to have to see which one. There's one that's definitely leaps out to me. I think the cappuccino mug one will go well with this card, although the tree also lends itself. I might use part of the tree die and be a bit clever with it and try and do something slightly different with it. I'm probably not going to make the actual card itself, although I might. I don't know. So this is going to be a bit of a tutorial. So I'm going to do one card in this little video, and then I'm going to do some more cards. I'll do like a part 2 where I'll make some others. So I'll be making this tree at some point in one of them as well. Yeah, I haven't decided yet what I'm doing in what, but I'm so excited I can't wait to start crafting. So let's get into it. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and we're going to make a folded explosion card, a 6x6, and I'm going to use some of these papers that I've just shown you, and also a couple of the dies as well, because I've got an idea. So I've cut out this one, the Christmas tree one. I've cut it out, and I've got a little bit of an idea for this one. So I'm not going to use it exactly as it is now, but I'm going to fold it. I will fold it up and show you how you are supposed to use it. Well, how it's sort of designed to use. But then I'm going to use it slightly differently, because I was like, I can think of ideas for that. And so I've actually cut out the bits for the tree, and I've not got a single die that does this, that cuts out your patterns and your mats for you. Oh my goodness, it makes life so much easier. Like, I would never be able to cut that tree out by myself. I'm really impressed. I have to say, I'm really, really impressed. This is the coffee cup die. So this was the die originally. That was that one. I didn't use the spoon, I didn't use the cappuccino, but I did use the coffee. And what I've done is I've just kind of sort of matted it up. So I cut out some of this sort of biscuit coloured pearlized card, and then I've just I've cut out another saucer using this foiled card, and then I've just cut a little bit off the bottom of it so that you can see, so it kind of gives it more depth. And then I did a little bit of cutting and pasting and whatever here. These are actually peel-offs, and I've stuck it onto the red candy cane paper, which I'm actually going to be using in the card itself. And then I just layered because I actually cut this cup out of the biscuit colour, because I wasn't sure what colour to go for. So I've just kind of had a bit of a play around, but I'm actually really pleased with the way it's turned out. So that's that. Right, so get into the card itself. Let us start with the base layers. So I've already scored some, because I had a bit of a headache this morning, and I just thought, let me just get it scored so that I don't have to think about it. So you're going to need 2 pieces that are 6 by 12. Now, on one of your pieces, 6 by 12, you just want to score it at 3, 6, and 9 inches. Okay, so that's one of your pieces. And then with this, what you're going to do is the front ones. This one's going to be, I say the front, I'm trying to think it through in my head. This is a valley, that's a mountain, that's a valley. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to just score those, or fold those. Okay, so you should end up with that. So it's like a W. Okay, so that's the back of your card. So I'm going to put that to one side for the moment, and then bring in the other piece. Now the other piece you're also going to score at 3, 6, and 9. But then what you're going to do is you're going to go from the top left-hand corner to the bottom of the 6-inch, and from the top of the 6-inch down to the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, so top left-hand corner to bottom of 6-inch line, and then top of 6-inch line to the bottom left-hand corner. And then you do exactly the same on this side. So top of 6-inch line to bottom right-hand corner, and top right-hand corner to bottom of 6-inch line. So you end up with 2 crosses. And if you've scored it right, they should go through that line perfectly. So what we're going to need to do is this, the straight top to bottom score lines need to be exactly the same as what you've just done. So you're going to fold a valley, a mountain, and a valley. So we'll do that first. So that's that like that. And then what we're going to do is all of these lines are going to be, in fact, actually, all of these lines actually need to be mountains. I've just realised they need to be mountains, but it doesn't do you any harm to fold them both ways. No, they need to be mountains. I got confused because of, I don't know, I just got confused. So yeah, sorry, they all need to be mountains. So there we go, we got all mountains like that. And then all the diagonals need to be valleys. One little tip, when you're folding your valleys, just make sure that don't just rely on your score lines. Make sure that it does actually fold nice and squarely By that I mean make sure that fits in that corner, because that score line there felt like it would have been off. Okay, so just make sure that you're you're nice and square. And then you're going to do the same on this side. So you should end up with that. And so when you fold it down, you just fold this bit like this, and that goes in like that. And then what I would do is just burnish each side. So I'm going to do this side first. Just make sure it folds nice and flat. Like this. Now you might need to trim a little bit off this edge, but we'll see in a minute if we need to do that or not. Okay, so once you've folded them all, you should end up with this. So now we're going to go ahead and decorate the inside of this bit here. Now, I think that it's probably easier to cut one 5.5 by 5.5 mat card and one 5 by 5 patterned paper, and then cut them into quarters diagonally, and that will give you these 4 pieces. So if I bring my pieces in, so I'm using the really cute this one with the cookies paper, go with the cookies. Now the only thing is, I've suddenly realised that actually I probably should have done a no direction paper, but never mind, I've done it now, so it doesn't matter. So on the back I've just drawn corner to corner, corner to corner, and I've done the same on this one, which is the matte one, and then this is just going to get cut and then stuck down onto here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these into quarters. Okay, so I went away, cut them into quarters, forgot to restart the video. So I'll just update you with what I've done so far. So basically, I went ahead and obviously cut them into quarters and then stuck them all down. Then you need to go ahead and just stick 2 of them down on the inside of your card. So this is the inside of your triangular card. So just stick these 2 down for now. Don't do the middle 2, because we're going to need a little tab thing to stick our teacup on, or whatever topper you've got there. So I've got 2 spare triangles here. These will go here, but for now we just stuck those ones there. Okay, so then what we did, we're off camera, you didn't see any of this. I then went ahead and stuck down the front, because I realised I can actually stick the front down because of the way we're going to stick the tree. So anyway, that's what I've done. So then I've got out 2 mat card pieces that were 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and 2 pattern pieces that are 2.5 by 5.5. Stuck the pattern onto the mat and then put the 2 panels onto the front of the card. Okay, so that's where we're up to now. And then what I did was I took, remember the Christmas tree we had at the beginning? Now I've gone and cut it up and everything, but anyway, let me try and reassemble it so you can see. So this is the Christmas tree. So it was like that as one piece. Okay, so I was busy explaining to you, only you weren't there because I'd switched it off. Busy explaining to you that normally this would work. So you'd score this would be a valley fold, and that would be a mountain fold. This would be a valley fold, that would be a mountain fold, and it kind of concertinas in like that. However, we're not using it like that. I'm going to do it properly on a card and use it how it's supposed to be used, but I end up cutting down those 2 middle lines, which leaves you, move that bit out the middle, out the way, which leaves you with that. Okay, and then what I did was I cut out the mats and the patterns for the tree, the little that come with it, so the dies come with it, which makes life so much easier. And then I've just stuck my patterns onto my mats and my mats onto my base card. So I'm now left with 2 trees that look like that. Okay, so just going backtrack again. So with the card, if you'd done it properly, then that would have folded in like that, and that would have folded in like that. Okay, so that's how the actual die looks if you make it up as a card. Okay, but anyway, I cut it, so there we go. So now we're left with 2 trees. Now one thing we do need to do, because of the place I'm going to stick this and the way I'm going to stick this, I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to cut probably about there, and just cut this little corner off. Otherwise you can see that when you're doing you're sticking your card together. So I'm just going to take those two little corners off. You'll see in a minute what I mean. And then I'm going to take the outside piece. This is my outside piece. And this here, I'm going to put some glue onto this bit here. And it's going to go round the corner of the card like that, nice and centrally. Okay, so I'm going to put that on like that. So let me go ahead and stick that down. And then we're going to do the same on this side. So that's going to go on this side. Now, little tip, probably need to close it when we stick this one in, just so that both sides actually line up. Otherwise, we're going to have half a Christmas tree, one bit, and then the other half Christmas tree is going to be slightly higher or lower than the other one, which would not be a very good idea. So I'm going to bring this down so it matches up. And then just, there we go. Now, I've noticed my gatefolds actually could have done with having a bit trimmed off them before I got to this point. But anyway, never mind. We live and learn. Okay, so there's your tree. I quite like that actually. It's quite nice. I do quite like that. So that's another way of using the die. So I actually really like that. Really like that a lot. Okay, so next we're going to open this up and we're going to take our inner piece. And what we're going to do is just going to put some glue on this triangle here to start with. You can do all three pieces in one go if you want, but I find it easier to do it one than the other. And actually, I'm just thinking I probably should have checked to see if I need to trim any of this off. But anyway, right. So this crease is going to fit nicely onto that crease there. And then, actually, we should be all right. And then this is going to line up on this edge like that. And so, you know, when we just took a little bit of the corner of the Christmas tree off, the reason why is otherwise you would be able to see it there, and we don't want to see part of a Christmas tree sticking out. So we're going to stick that on. Now this is going to be a very thick card. The card base I've used here is about a 300 GSM, which is a little bit on the tight side, if I'm honest. It's a little bit too much, but yeah, it's okay. We can cope. Right, so next we're going to go ahead and put some glue onto these two triangles here. And I'm going to do both of these at the same time. And then last but not least, we're just going to put some glue on that last triangle on the edge here. Okay, so when you open it up, that's what you've got so far. So before we do this middle bit, because I really want to decorate first before I start attaching things in the middle. So we're going to need some more triangles to decorate here and here and here and all over. Now, if you want to, you can do all of this section here and all of this section here. I was just going to do the back pieces and then these here. I wasn't going to bother with these. I might change my mind when I see it decorated, but I thought that I probably wouldn't. And then I was going to decorate these at the back here, but not those. So if you decorate using just that, so you're going to need 2 matte squares that are 5 by 5 and 2 pattern squares that are 4.5 by 4.5. Now on both of these, what you need to do is you're going to divide them into 8ths. So you're going to go diagonal, diagonal, and then on the matte one, you just want to measure it 2.5 top and bottom, and 2.5, 2.5, and draw a line. So you end up with your 8 sections. Okay, and then the same with the pattern, you can do the same again on that. Now what I would advise that you do is, if you're using glue, then it's not really a problem. If you're not using glue and you're using tape, then I would advise that you put double-sided tape on, or some kind of sticky like this. This is extra wide tape. I actually got this from Crafty Devils, but I think you can get it elsewhere, or even stick it, anything like that, like a self-adhesive sheet. Double-sided self-adhesive sheet, and then you just want to cover the whole of that, but just make sure that whatever you do you can see your lines through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to cut these up, and then I'm going to stick them together, so mat and layer them, and then we're going to go ahead and stick them down in a minute. So I've gone ahead and cut all my little triangles out. So I've got loads of triangles and I've got loads of patterns. So I'm now going to go ahead and stick all of my patterns onto my mats, and then I'll come back to you in a moment. So you should end up with a whole heap of little triangles. I would go with a non-directional paper for this if I were you. Right, apologies if the sunshine bothers you. I just really needed to not block it out because we've had a real lack of sunshine recently, so yeah. Right, so now we're just going to go ahead and stick our triangles on. So we're going to stick them here, here, and then also I'm going to stick them just here and probably there. I might change my mind and have to cut some more out for these bits here. I don't know yet. We're going to go ahead anyway and stick the ones down that I know I definitely want to stick down, and then we'll see what we've got left. I don't think I'm going to have any left, but we'll have a look and see. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stuck them on. So as you can see, obviously there you can see the white here. So I might end up putting some on there, but it's just that I have got a lot of layers and it is now a very thick card. But anyway, so yeah, so that's that. So now we need to go ahead and do the middle bit. So we've got our little mug of coffee or hot chocolate or whatever it is, it's going to go in the middle. So we need to attach this on using just 2 little tabs, basically. And you just want to cut 2 little tabs, and they need to be about, I would say, about 1/2 inch by 1 inch. Yeah, so I've actually, you can use whatever you want. I've actually cut 2 pieces that are 1 by 1. I mean, it doesn't really matter what size they are really. As long as you don't see them, then that's the main thing. And then I'm going to bring my scoreboard back in, and we're just going to score them in half at 1/2 inch. Like that, and like that. So when I say you don't see them, I mean you don't want to see them behind your topper. So that's why they need to sort of just be small enough that they can be covered by your topper. And then we're just going to fold them in half like that. There we go. Let's bring our card back in. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, you can put red tape or glue, something strong anyway, onto your tabs. Now I'm going to use glue. I just think it's going to be a bit quicker to do. So we're just going to, on one side, we're just going to add some glue like that. And then we're going to take it, and where the folded edges, that is where you're going to line it up with the folded edge on the actual card itself. Okay, so you've got a little tab sticking up there, so hopefully you can see. There's my little tab, and then the other one's going to go facing the other way on the other side. I love this kind of mechanism. It's quite a nice little mechanism, and it works really well, and it's really good if you've got little off-cutty bits. So that's going to go on the other side like that, so they meet up in the middle like that. And then we're just going to go ahead and stick our cup of coffee on the top. Now I'm going to use red tape for this just because I want it to stick straight away. I don't want to be worrying about, is it going to move? So I'm just going to cut some red tape and put it on to those 2 tabs. Okay, so this point here, before you stick your topper on, is the time when you can now go ahead and put your pattern paper on the middle sections. It's just because you want to cover those tabs, you don't want to be able to see them. I mean, they are sort of hidden by your topper, but I just like them completely hidden. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those two panels down. Okay, so we've stuck our middle bits down. So now we're just going to peel the backing off this tape here. And then take our coffee cup and we're going to stick it down nice and central in the middle like that. So then when you're when it's displayed, it just stands up, and you've also got the bits of the tree either side. I actually really like this card. I really like this Christmas tree. I really wish had had this die earlier in the year, like, when I started doing my Christmas cards, because I can think of lots of ways of using this tree. I just think it's amazing. Anyway, so yeah, so that's that. And obviously from the top you have still got those white bits there, but they don't bother me too much if I'm honest. And then the whole thing folds flat like that, and it will fit in an envelope for a 6x6 card. The only thing left to do is to put a greeting on it. So just need a Merry Christmas. And then the other thing as well that you can do is to add 2 matte panels on the back, which are 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and 2 white panels that are 2.5 by 5.5. I'm not going to put a panel on the back. I'm literally going to, oh, I might do. I'll see what I might put a tag or something. I don't really want to add too much more layers because I've used quite thick card. It's now quite chunky. So if I put get more layers on the back, I feel like it's going to be too much. And that's just because, as I said, I've just used really thick. Like this biscuit coloured pearl card is actually quite thick. To use as a matte layer, it's really quite thick. And this is all quite chunky because I built it up. So yeah, I don't want to go too heavy. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead, add a greeting on it, and then that will be that card. Okay, so I found a greeting. This is actually out of one of the tulip from years ago, Do Craft tulip packs, but it just goes really nicely. It works really well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. So now we do the closure. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, action. Okay, so there we go. I've added my greeting. Actually, I really like this card. It's actually turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to turn out. I thought it was going to turn out well, but I've been impressed. My only thing is it's a bit thick, but that's just because of the card that I used. So you've got the little Christmas tree on the front that we've just adapted and tweaked. But I love the way you got the matte and layers, and they're also perfect. Then you open it up, and you've got that wonderful coffee cup in the middle. And again, I wasn't sure with the coffee cup when I first cut it out that I'd got all the colours and everything exactly how I should have it. But I really like it. And also because on the actual die, it does cut a line there. So you can tweak things in like the little candy canes. They were peel-offs. I just stuck them onto some pattern paper. Yeah, and I love these papers. I just literally love these papers. Oh my goodness me. I love these papers. So yeah, so there you go. So there's your finished card. I like as well the fact that when you have the card open, you've still got the tree. So when that's sat on your desk, that tree is still showing. I just think it's really nice, and it also acts as a little, you know, tab to put it open with. I just love it. I think it's really cool. So yeah, so that's the card today. I hope you're liking today's tutorial with like kind of craft tool and a tutorial in the same video. I just thought, you know, sometimes craft tools can be a bit boring, and sometimes you want to see what I've made using the items. Yeah, and so I just thought, let me put the two together. So there you go. So there's your folded explosion card, 6x6 version. I have done a normal explosion card which doesn't have this fold down the middle, so it's basically like that. I did that a while ago, so you can check back on that. I'll try and put a little link up in the top corner. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the card. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Leave a comment down below. If you want to become a member, please do. Thank you to all my members that I've got so far. You guys are amazing, so thank you so much. Yeah, and I'll see you again next time. And don't forget to use the code as well for Kokorosastudio. I'll put that up on the screen. Okie doke, see you next time. Bye.